Hello. Today we had a lot of financial fireworks in the markets. A lot of things are going on, and I think we are in the middle of something going on that's very big. Today the Federal Reserve came in and offered $85 billion to buy out AIG, and it looks like it's never going to end. They're talking about the next company, whether it's Morgan Stanley or whatever. Already we bailed out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and Lehman's went bankrupt, and then...
It's fall 2008. A financial crisis has arisen. Some say that it will be the next Great Depression. Others don't think it will affect us at all. Should I really be concerned about all this? Will I even be able to afford a home or even a new car? Should I really be concerned as a Canadian citizen about what will be happening in the world around us? I say, let's find out.
It's very easy to explain how a recession starts. When people don't have as much money to spend, they stop spending more on luxury items, and will still pay the bills. A lot of people believe that when the U.S. went into recession, that our economy wouldn't falter.
People hold back. They do not want to spend. They will not purchase big purchases like homes, automobiles, electronics, sport utility vehicles, various components that actually drive the economy.
When people are spending less, companies are making less money. They start lowering their spending, start paying less bonuses, things like that, and then after time they might start laying off workers. So it's just a kind of a vicious cycle, right? It started years ago, I guess, in the U.S. When they were writing these adjustable rate mortgages and things like that. So the U.S. is definitely the culprit to blame for what the world economy is going through right now.
The U.S. economy is such a strong economy. 2/3 of all the world's currency is traded on the U.S. dollar. That was the first, in my perspective or my opinion, the first start of the downturn in the economy.
Years ago in the States, they were called these adjustable rate mortgages, and essentially, they were lending money to people who couldn't afford the loan payments at the time, is that they thought that home values would keep going up, right? So problem is when you put somebody in a home with little or no down payment, with a mortgage rate that they can barely afford, and on the assumption that home prices are going to go up. Well, when they dropped, right? If you bought a house and I gave you a $500,000 mortgage, and let's say you put $5,000 into it, and the home price drops to $300,000, right? You've got $5,000 equity in the home. You got a $500,000 mortgage, and the home is only worth $300,000 now, right? You got a huge mortgage that you can barely afford. Chances are you're going to turn the keys in and say, well, thanks a lot. Here's your home back, right?
In 1929, the Great Depression, also known as the Dirty 30s, was nothing like an ordinary depression, where savings vanished and city families went to the farm until it blew over. This depression affected everyone in some way, and there was basically no way to escape it. As time passed, the depression worsened, and no one knew what was best to respond to the crisis. President Hoover believed the dole would do more harm than good, and that local government and private charities should provide relief to the unemployed and homeless. It wasn't until after the federal government recruited 6 million defense workers and drafted 6 million soldiers and ran massive deficits to fight World War II. And that is how the Great Depression came to an end.
As far as a depression, I really don't believe that's going to happen, for the main reason that the heads of all the major countries are doing the right things.
Personally, I think that our economies have developed so well that everything is cyclical, and I personally don't think we're going to go into a depression. For the short term, it might be hard. It might be a little tough. But when I say the short term, I mean really short term. I don't think, personally, that this recessionary mode that we're in is going to last very, very long.
Newfoundland, unlike a lot of other places in Canada, we're not going to be affected as bad, or at least not immediately. Housing is actually expected to continue to increase. The net inflow is going to be positive, so as opposed to people leaving the island, they're coming back.
Because of some financial crunch, there's going to be less demand on consumer goods. That's why people are going to be laid off. There's going to be less manufacturing because people will not buy as many products or services.
And this is the biggest thing that a lot of economists are saying right now, is that this crisis is not going to be over until home prices bottom.